I am under the opinion that the war in Ukraine is all a big ruse, all the way from all the sanctioning and all the evil that happens to Russia by NATO. I think that's all a big ruse so the NATO can assassinate, or the lizard people can assassinate Alexander Dugin. Because have you ever read Alexander Dugin? It is the most enlightening and liberating experience you can have in this world. And he's a big fan of pluralism, and so am I. That's something we have a strong overlap in is pluralism. And I say this as someone who like beats critical race theory on a regular basis. The trick to beating critical race theory is to realize there is no white race. That fair skin complexion like myself and Alexander Dugin, we're Caucasian, and Caucasia is a place. It has a history, it has a philosophy, it has culture, it has art, it has everything. And if you like China and Russia and Iran, then you're probably and you're fair skinned, you're Caucasian. You're not actually like white. There's no real such thing as white. White is a label for American herd mentality people to have so they can like get genocided easier by the United States. And if you look at how America likes to murder, well, the southern border is open. There's a fentanyl crisis in America, and the whole mRNA vaccine, as well as COVID-19. That just shows that the Americans they like to do genocides with like viruses and like vaccines, and they also like to do genocide through narco terrorism. Um, yeah, that's America. We're gonna talk about Caucasian stuff today, everybody. But yeah, that's like the most important man in the world for Caucasians. And I really love Alexander Dugin. And he's not a Nazi or anything like that. No, he advocates for a pluralist society. That's what he advocates for. And if they're calling him a Nazi, on then Ukraine needs to be like wiped off the map for like fighting this man in his country. Okay, that's calling Alexander Dugin a Nazi is like saying the world should just genocide all white people. Yeah, genocide white people instead of just having a pluralist society. It's specifically about white people, isn't it? With America, not Alexander Dugin, no, none of that reflects him. But like, if we don't have Dugin's philosophy in America, then they're gonna genocide like all the fair skinned people. It's weird how this works. But if you read it long enough and you actually know what's going on in the world, you'd realize that Alexander Dugin is probably the greatest thing for the white race. If you read his books, you realize, oh, we should try him in America. Because like he advocates for like a pluralist like society, not necessarily multicultural, but pluralist, but all unified under like a national identity. And that's all this man really like advocates for, okay? And that's the fourth position. The fourth position is a national identity, but we all have our own uniqueness, but we all share common values, okay? It's real wholesome. It's like we all have something in common despite looking differently. And that's where we're from, our home. And it includes like everybody. It's pluralist. It's great. But yeah, like honestly, if more white people aren't more friendly to Russia and like Alexander Dugin type thought, Duginist thought, then like I kind of saw this coming where like the white population will just collapse and die off. Because that's where we're at. We're not at like white supremacy anymore. Whites only make up like less than 10% of the global population, and they're letting everyone into our homes, So where's this land for us essentially if like the NATO and the Western world is trying to eliminate white people? I know American white people don't generally think about this, but this is true. You're being replaced. You're being hardcore replaced. From the fentanyl genocide to the replacement to the sissification of your sons, all that is white replacement, okay? It's all them trying to replace you. And everything in this world that is said by America has one intended purpose, and that's to replace the white population. They don't do anything else for any other reason. It's all what it's about is white replacement. Everything that comes from the West is white replacement theory. Okay, that's all it's all that in application. But like Duginist thought, like Caucasian thought, like if you're Caucasian, you can't die in a white genocide, okay? Because like you're chosen by God, you're chosen by Greater Caucasia to live. This is my own thing. This is my own thing. But like that's what I took from Dugin, and I made it my own. So like I'm a big fan of philosophy. I'm a big fan of philosophy and humor, real Dada absurdist humor. And I love Alexander Dugin. Like most of this is my own thing that I took from his teachings. It's not really Alexander Dugin thought. Maybe the pluralist thing, that alone, him being a pluralist. But everything else in this video is my own distinct thought. And honestly, bro, like like everything from the automobile to the airplane was created by Caucasians, and white people. I'm sorry, but like white people are just a fictitious construct created by the Max Horkheimer and all his friends at the Frankfurt School, and that's what they're pumping down everybody's throats is his Frankfurt School critical race theory. I know they like to tell you that critical race theory started with some female sociologist. It didn't. It started with Max Horkheimer in the Frankfurt School in the 40s. And he's like the mastermind of the CIA. You know, like the CIA's ideology is Max Horkheimer. And they're trying to get rid of the Caucasian population as well as the white population in this world. Despite us only making up less than 10% of the population, we must kick so much ass that this whole world is like dominated by less than 10% of our population. And of the Caucasians, we all know it's really just 1% of our race, the top 1%, which are whites, like Hillary Clinton and all them. That's the real people fucking up this world. And surprisingly enough, like people vote for them. And it's the same people who say they gotta get rid of all the white people when the only white people we have to get rid of are Hillary Clinton and all them, the power elite. See, sociology is way easier than you think it is, and everyone like follows a corrupt form of ideology in this world, okay? Everyone follows a corrupt ideology in this world, and I'm the only one that has like a pure good worldview. I'm the only one. Like, I'd ask people to tell me what the Bible says about Jesus Christ coming back, and they tell me that the rapture is pre tribulation instead of the very last second, like it's stated in the Bible. Sorry, Alexander Dugin. Sorry, this is nothing about this video besides him being a pluralist has anything to do with Alexander Dugin. I'm just a huge troll. But like, yeah, this is what I believe in. I got a lot of ideas from Alexander Dugin, and I see the world totally different from everyone else. This is why like Mingzi and Stalin's grandson likes me. It's like, well, if I don't talk and do this way like I should, then the world won't operate as it should. Because everyone follows a corrupted ideology. Sure, some of you monkeys and chimps are smart, but like in all reality, like no one in America is, I would say, is sentient at this point. America is totally governed by cognitive dissonance, and the place is a fucking madhouse. Okay, sorry, Alexander Dugin, love you. But yeah, that's what I believe as the father of Caucasia, the messiah of the Caucasian race.